The Wisdom of Leon Cooperman. Chapter 1: A Visionary's Dawn. Leon Cooperman emerged from humble beginnings to become a pillar of strategic thought and daring investment. Born in a small town, he spent his youth studying market patterns in the family garage, turning simple observations into profitable insights. As he grew older, Leon's fame spread beyond local circles when a legendary investor praised his ability to see opportunity where others saw risk. In one interview, Leon remarked, "The truth of markets is that the future is always hidden behind the present. You must learn to see the story in the noise." That line became an anchor point for all his wisdom. Leon's early story is a powerful reminder that greatness can begin anywhere. He transformed limited resources into influential ideas because he trusted his instinct and cultivated patience. When his first fund struggled, he didn't give up. Instead, he double-checked his models, listened to market voices, and finally turned a loss into a record achievement. His perseverance demonstrated that setbacks are simply recalibration tools, not endpoints. Today's entrepreneurs and investors can replicate Leon's early approach by building a strong foundation of research, staying calm during downturns, and treating each failure as a data point rather than a verdict. Start by dedicating a daily practice of market or industry study. 3 hours a week is enough to create a knowledge base that will outlast short-term noise. Use a personal scorecard to track your decisions and adjust your strategies as your data evolves. The key takeaway from Chapter 1 is that vision, coupled with relentless learning and resilience, sets the stage for powerful influence. If you are enjoying this, like, share, and subscribe for more. How will you begin to see the future hidden within today's ordinary signals? Chapter 2: Core Principles of Leon's Mastermind. Leon articulated his philosophy through 5 timeless principles that each guide his actions: curiosity, disciplined research, calculated risk, generosity of knowledge, and a focus on long-term impact. He once said, "Curiosity is the engine of discovery. Without it, a mind is a closed circuit." This principle underscores the importance of questioning assumptions and exploring beyond the obvious. In practice, Leon would attend conferences of unrelated industries, read books outside his niche, and interview people with opposing views to sharpen his own conclusions. Discipline in research was another pillar. Leon devoted hours each week to reading reports, analyzing data sets, and testing hypotheses. He maintained a rigorous note-taking system that later became his strategic playbook. The practice teaches us that structured knowledge turns into actionable insight. Your own disciplined research could take the form of weekly industry summaries or a systematic portfolio review that aligns with your values and goals. Calculated risk was the third principle. Leon approached uncertainty with a mathematical mindset. He assessed probabilities before committing capital. In a dramatic moment, he invested in a company that later turned into a cornerstone of his fund, and he credited his risk assessment framework for that success. Modern professionals can adopt this tactic by building balanced risk models that factor in scenario analysis, capital preservation, and realistic probability ranges. Generosity of knowledge was less about ego and more about ecosystem growth. Leon held free seminars and shared research with peers. This generosity accelerated collective progress and built a network of collaborators. The lesson for us is to view knowledge as a shared asset that, when distributed, multiplies collective success. Finally, long-term impact guided every decision. Leon believed in creating value that outlives markets. He invested in clean energy early, recognizing its future potential, and in doing so, he anchored his firm in sustainability. For modern readers, this principle calls for decisions that balance short-term returns with societal benefits, fostering resilient ventures. The main takeaways are: curiosity opens doors, disciplined research creates pathways, calculated risk fuels progress, generosity spreads growth, long-term impact builds legacy. If you are enjoying this, like, share, and subscribe for more. Which of Leon's 5 principles resonates most with your current life, and how will you commit to it? Chapter 3: The Application of Leon's Wisdom in Action. Leon's success stories show how he translated theory into practice. One notable instance involved a neglected commodity market that most analysts ignored. Leon spent years researching its fundamentals, uncovering a supply bottleneck that led to a price surge. He invested heavily, patiently, and strategically, and secured a substantial return when the market corrected itself. This story exemplifies his commitment to long-term research and patience over quick wins. Another narrative highlights Leon's risk discipline. During a market downturn, he didn't panic, but instead used his risk models to adjust his portfolio, reallocating funds into sectors with high probability of rebound. That decision turned a potential loss into an opportunity for incremental growth. His disciplined research during volatile periods proved essential for making data-driven choices. Leon's generosity was visible when he hosted quarterly workshops for young investors, providing them with his analytical frameworks and encouraging them to question conventional wisdom. Participants grew to outperform market averages, demonstrating that knowledge sharing yields tangible results. His belief in collective progress is echoed in modern entrepreneurial ecosystems, where mentorship and open collaboration are critical for scaling. Applying Leon's wisdom requires a structured approach. Start by defining a research agenda with clear KPIs, align your investment or business decisions with rigorous data and calculated risk assessments, and adopt a long-term view that factors in societal impact. Create a knowledge repository and share your learnings with a trusted network. Finally, commit to growth even when the market seems uncertain. Disciplined patience can yield significant rewards. Takeaway from Chapter 3: knowledge must be researched, applied, and shared, while risk and patience govern how we navigate change. If you are enjoying this, like, share, and subscribe for more. Who is the one person in your network you could share Leon's principles with right now? Chapter 4: translating Leon's lessons to modern life. Translating Leon's legacy into practice today means embracing technology, embracing continuous learning, and embedding purpose into business. Use data analytics to uncover hidden patterns just as Leon did, but supplement that with AI-driven insights that cut through noise at unprecedented speed. Develop an internal culture of curiosity. Run weekly brainstorming sessions where dissenting voices are encouraged and rewarded. When it comes to risk calculation, adopt advanced portfolio models that incorporate stochastic simulations. These tools can help you assign realistic probability bounds to each investment, thereby mirroring Leon's disciplined risk appetite. Simultaneously, be generous with your expertise, launch webinars, publish white papers, and contribute to open-source communities. Not only will you accelerate your own growth, but you will also help elevate your entire industry. Focus on long-term impact. Integrate ESG metrics into your decision-making. Identify projects that contribute to societal welfare, perhaps by providing renewable energy or by leveraging supply chain transparency. When you measure success beyond financial returns, you align your business with Leon's vision of lasting value. Concrete steps you can take today include: set aside a weekly research hour, craft a basic risk model using spreadsheets or software, create a free course or guide to your learnings, align one quarterly project with a measurable societal contribution. Each action brings your practice in line with Leon's philosophy and magnifies your influence. Key takeaways: data tools elevate curiosity, advanced models sharpen risk discipline, generosity of knowledge builds community, purpose-driven goals create lasting impact. If you are enjoying this, like, share, and subscribe for more. Which technology or platform will you adopt next to apply Leon's principles effectively? Chapter 5: the enduring legacy and your call to action. Leon Cooperman's journey is more than a story of market success. It is a blueprint for thoughtful, purposeful progress. By embedding curiosity, disciplined research, calculated risk, generosity, and long-term impact into everyday decision-making, we honor his legacy and craft a future that withstands volatility. The final lesson is simple yet profound. Excellence is a continuous act. Leverage the insights he shared not as a checklist, but as a compass guiding every new idea and investment. When you encounter uncertainty, ask yourself, does this align with the curiosity that first sparked my vision? Does the data support my risk appetite? Will this action ripple goodwill into someone else's life? The conclusion of this chapter reminds that each of us has the capacity to shape markets with intelligence and heart. Embrace the principles Leon taught and let them transform yourself and the world around you. If you found value in this script, please like, share, and subscribe so we can bring more inspirational journeys. Reflect now. How will you start to weave Leon's 5 principles into today's challenges and opportunities?